Man was very sad and wanted to jump from there. Carl burst in to prevent the tragedy from happening. He told the guy to wait a moment. Carl went back inside and grabbed a guitar. Through Carl's singing, the man no longer chose to take his own life. Just like that, a life was saved. That night, he arrived at the airport, ready to travel with Ellie, but unexpectedly ran into his ex-wife. This time, he didn't avoid her but bravely faced her. His ex-wife had seen Carl's story on TV. Carl smiled slightly. He was no longer the way he used to be. After saying goodbye to his ex-wife, Carl met up with Ellie. At the ticket counter, they had no plan. They decided to go wherever the next available flight was headed. So they flew to Nebraska, visited the boring telephone history museum, tried out frisbee shooting, and watched a football game. On the way back, it suddenly started raining heavily. Carl covered her with his jacket and took her to a warehouse. Faced with this considerate man, Ellie proposed living together. Carl hesitated for a moment, but since he never said no, he agreed. Ellie hugged Carl, but he thought of something else. They arrived at the airport to go home, but the ticket agent mysteriously called the investigators, who took them away. They suspected Carl of being a terrorist. He always bought tickets at the last minute before the plane took off, met with Persian foreign blind dates, and even approved loans for fertilizer. In the end, a friend stepped in to resolve the issue. He explained to the investigators that Carl had attended a seminar, and everything he did was related to that, causing Carl to say yes to everything. The misunderstanding was cleared up, but when Ellie learned the truth, she felt Carl had been lying all along. Everything he did was because he had to keep a promise, not because he genuinely wanted to. The hesitation about moving in together was because he didn't want to do it. Carl wanted to explain, but all his words seemed so weak and powerless. The investigator uncuffed Ellie, and their relationship ended just like that. Back in Los Angeles, Carl was full of remorse. If he had immediately agreed to live with Ellie, this wouldn't have happened. His friend told him that perhaps the reason for this outcome was his so-called promise. Why not consider each thing like a normal person and make decisions one by one? But Carl wouldn't listen. From then on, Ellie directly hung up on Carl's calls. She didn't want to be with someone who had no sense of self. One day, the phone rang. He rushed to answer it. It turned out his ex-wife had been dumped by her boyfriend. She wanted to get back with Carl, but this time he refused. He took the elevator to leave, but it malfunctioned. Even his car was towed away. He couldn't take it anymore. He found the professor, wanting to cancel the agreement. Carl's sudden appearance caused them to have a car accident. The first thing he did when he woke up was complain about suffering the consequences of breaking his promise. Then the professor's voice appeared. The professor explained everything to him. It turned out the professor's intention was for him to open his heart, not to literally say yes to everything. It was about opening his heart and finding what he truly wanted to do. Carl finally understood. He left the hospital room to go find Ellie. He ran into his new friend at the elevator and borrowed his newly purchased Ducati. Carl arrived at Ellie's jogging photography class and performed a drift. He appeared coolly from the smoke and told Ellie he didn't want to move in together right away because true feelings need to be cultivated slowly. Clearly, Ellie didn't agree. Carl chased after her, hoping to start over with her. He thought Ellie's life was rich and colorful, but in fact, she was like everyone else, afraid of many things. The two reconciled.